The 18th of April, 1943. 28,000 feet above Bougainville, the Pacific sky was a canvas of sunlight and shadow when the impossible happened. A lone P38 Lightning, its twin engines humming like a predator's growl, broke every rule in the book and changed the course of the air war forever. First Lieutenant Rex T. Barber gripped his control column as the radio crackled with urgency. Asterisk bandits zeros 10 o'clock high. Asterisk. He turned his head and his blood ran cold. Not 5, not 10, but times. 40 times. Mitsubishi Zeros poured down from 32,000 feet in a cascading spiral, their wings flashing like silver daggers. In the morning Sunday, they had altitude. They had numbers. They had the advantage. And they were diving straight for the American bombers below. Barber's flight had one chance. The P-38 Lightning was the most advanced American fighter in the Pacific, a twin-engine beast with unmatched speed, firepower, and altitude performance. But it had a fatal weakness. For 18 months, pilots had been forbidden times from doing exactly what the Zeros were doing, diving vertically at high speed. The reason? Compressibility. At speeds above 400 knots, shock waves built up on the wings, the controls locked up, and the aircraft could pitch into an unrecoverable dive. Test pilots had died proving it. Technical orders had been written in bold, red warnings. Asterisk. Never dive vertically after the enemy. Asterisk. The Zeros knew it. They counted times on it. Half of the Japanese formation dove for the bombers. The other 20, screaming toward Barber's flight, rolled inverted and plunged straight down, the same tactic that had saved them 100 times before. The closing speed was over 600 miles per hour. Barber had 3 seconds to decide. Follow doctrine, stay at altitude, keep mutual support, and let the Zeros escape again. Or break the rules. Dive. Not a gentle, controlled descent, but a full power, vertical, asterisk compressibility risking times plunge that could tear his P-38 apart. The kind of dive that had killed test pilots. The kind of dive that was explicitly times forbidden. Barber made his choice. He shoved the throttles to full power, slammed the control column forward, and dove. His P-38's nose dropped at a terrifying 70-degree angle. The Allisons roared, the turbocharger shrieking as the airspeed needle climbed 280 knots, 350, 380. At 24,000 feet, the controls began to stiffen, the yoke resisting like a frozen lever. Asterisk. This was it. Asterisk. The edge. The manuals said times. Stop. Asterisk. Barber held the dive. The Zeros ahead didn't see him. They were focused on the bombers, pulling out at 12,000 feet to attack. They never looked back. At 20,000 feet, Barber's airspeed hit 440 knots. The aircraft wanted to pitch down further, the infamous tuck under times beginning. He reached for the trim wheel, cranked in nose-up trim, and fought the controls. At 16,000 feet, he was times behind, times the Zero formation, closing fast at 485 knots. The first, Zero filled his gun sight. He fired. The combined blast of 4 50-caliber machine guns and a 20mm cannon tore the Japanese fighter apart. No parachute. No escape. He flashed past the wreckage, still diving, and found another target. A second burst. Another Zero, its wing shearing off, spiraling into the abyss. The formation scattered, Zeros breaking in panic, no one expecting a P-38 to times follow. Asterisk Barber's speed was still higher than any Zero could match. He pulled back on the throttle, eased into a climbing turn, and spotted another Zero. Another burst. Another kill. 3, 4, 5. His wingman, his cousin, had followed him down and was now covering his tail. Asterisk. You're into them. I've got your 6. Asterisk. Barber dove again, this time at a shallower angle, keeping his speed below 400 knots but still lethal. He picked off another 0, then another. The Zeros tried to turn, to reverse, to escape, but they were slow, bleeding energy. Barber climbed, rolled, and dove again. 6, 7, 8, 9. In just asterisk, 3 minutes and 10 seconds, asterisk, Rex Barber had shattered the myth that the P-38 couldn't dive. He had proven that the Lightning was capable times of following the 0 if a pilot knew how to dance at the edge of the envelope. When he landed, the crew chief counted the rounds. Asterisk, 78 from the 20mm cannon, 412 from the machine guns, 490 rounds for 9 confirmed kills. Asterisk, an average of just 54 rounds per kill, the most efficient slaughter of the Pacific Air War. But the real story wasn't the kills. It was the asterisk, dive, asterisk. Barber's flight recorder showed a maximum speed of asterisk 485 knots, 85 knots beyond the official limit. Asterisk. Yet, he had retained control, fired accurately, and pulled out alive. The engineers at Wright Field would later call it asterisk, unrecoverable. Asterisk. But Barber had done it. Within a week, every P-38 squadron in the 5th Air Force knew the truth. Asterisk. The Lightning could survive the dive. Asterisk. The forbidden tactic spread through whispered debriefs, informal training, and shared experience. Pilots learned to use trim, to watch their airspeed, to pull out early. The Zero's most reliable escape tactic was now a death trap. By summer 1943, Japanese intelligence was forced to admit, asterisk, the twin-engine American fighter now follows aggressive dives. Previous escape techniques are ineffective. Asterisk, the Zero could no longer run. The P-38's kill ratio soared from 6 to 1 to 5, 8 to 1. And then, 6 months later, the engineers caught up. Dive recovery flaps were installed, allowing the P-38 to dive safely at 500+ knots. But the damage was done. The myth of the P-38's limitations had been shattered. Rex Barber never got full credit for those 9 kills. His gun camera malfunctioned, and in the chaos, only 2 could be confirmed. But history remembers him for something greater. On the 18th of April, 1943, one pilot proved that sometimes the most dangerous thing a man can do is to follow the rules. The P-38 Lightning was always capable of more than anyone believed. All it needed was a pilot willing to find out.